Alright guys, we have the ultimate pump classic for you today. Right in front of you, as you can see, the Reebok Pump High. This was the original name, the pump. Now this is the sample that was prepped to release. That last release that was done back in 2013, 2014. I don't have any of those in my possession, the retail pairs, but now I have the sample so I can show you some differences, and I'm sure there's plenty. Some of you might really recognize some of those, and you can see August 15th of August of 2013 is this sample of white royale sheer orange right there. Now, a lot of you have that pair, a lot of you enjoy that, and a lot of you love that shoe and have been really chasing that classic for a long time. I have to say something, and it might sound like a blasphemy for a lot of you guys, but that shoe has never been my favorite, and one of the reasons, and probably the main reason for me, is the height. I was never too crazy about that late 80s early 90s height. They're really high. I was always about the mids and the lows, and the really high shoes were not my thing, but I recognize the importance of the shoe and how much that shoe made for Reebok's image and what what created in the history. Real quickly over the technology. Back in the day, the shoe was all around full grain genuine leather. The retro in this particular one is a mixture of nice tumbled genuine leather, some overlays that are synthetic, the toe box is genuine leather, so there's a mixture of it, but still pretty good job. The pump that was featured back in the day of that shoe was full foot pump, which means covered the midfoot section, covered the all around, the Achilles, both sides, so it was one huge pump system that later some shoes had as well with Reebok, but this was the original one. Another difference with all the other ones, the pump was in the tongue, and then the release valve was on the heel. There was only one more shoe that was created like that at that time, and that was the Pump 2, the Pump High 2, which had the switch in the back to select which section of the shoe you would like to pump. Unfortunately, we're probably never going to see the retro of that shoe. Aside of that, we had the Energy Return System, the Hydro tubes in the heel. This was before the Hexalite, so this was the cushioning created by Reebok at that time. And you can see Reebok Energy Return System. Aside of that, I think the shoe was extremely comfortable. I've never tried it back in the day. It was way before not way before I got interested in sneakers, because it was just a couple years before, but I've seen it on people's feet, and I've talked to people back in the day that have it, and everybody said it was extremely comfortable. This particular retro and this sample is also very comfortable, very plush inside. The padding is great. One big negative with the sample, and I know that the retail actually came with a pump. This sample does not have any of the pump bladder. No bladder in thumb, no around, so the pump is just for show basically. Even you can see the release valve is just again for show, and this one fell off and I can't find it. But if you pull the back here, you can see you can insert the valve, and it's just for show. And this is the cutout, by the way. Let me push it a little bit. This is the cutout where the tube back in the day came out to the valve, so you can release the pressure from the bladder. And this is the tag right here. Let me focus. Simple. Size 9 is all the other ones. Definitely a shoe that if you live in cold climate, you can kind of replace your boots with, because they're so high, so heavily padded. They're actually very well, providing a very well insulation from cold. Stitching on the front, obviously we have Reebok here on the heel, kind of this signature TPU that was created back in the day. There is no internal or no TPU between the inner liner and the shoe upper. It's that cup that kind of holds your foot in the footbed. And these signature Reebok kind of retention side panels that are used in so many models across Reebok, especially in early and late 90s, to late 90s. We have stitching Reebok and basketball on a ton. I'm sure a lot of you that have those retros and the black one will recognize it. You'll see yellowing on this one on this side. Probably the shoe was on a display, and this is what happens when you leave them exposed to UV lights and sunlight. That solid rubber yellows, but I think it brings a little bit of character. It looks more vintage. This one is completely white and not a problem whatsoever. You can wear them. I plan to wear them, so for me that's not going to be an issue. Luckily it's finally, the fall is here and the winter is coming, so I will be able to wear these with no problem. Let me see if I can pull the insole real quick and show it to you. I think that specific insole was tailored around the very first original insole, and I think I showed it to you in one of those question retros, the very early ones, the 2000. This is how that thick polyurethane insole for the question look like. This is the original with those horizontal and vertical lanes, perforations, Reebok right here with the size, thick and very soft. We have energy return system right here. So this is the modeled from the original insole. So let's see, inside the shoe as always sorry about that. Inside the shoe as always there's a sticker, and this one came off when I pulled the insole with the being the sample and everything. Again, they placed those in the bottom of the heel, right between the insole and the actual midsole. So what else to say about this shoe? Very, very popular back in the day, very popular even today. A lot of people bought it. It's one of those shoes that kind of made history and initially created this huge hype around Reebok and the pump system that what got me in love with them basically, and it's a great part of history that I have, and having a sample even better. So that's pretty much it. There'll be a lot more coming. I have tons of samples coming to the channel that I'm gonna feature. If you're following me on Instagram, you already probably seen most of them, but I'm gonna talk a lot about these, and very soon you're gonna see them. Subscribe if you're new. If you're a fan of Reebok, hit the thumbs up, and until next time guys, you have a wonderful day.